Well, this is the solution that we came up with. And we'll see the chopper in action soon. But I guess we'll get done one way or another. The joys of dryness. Oh great, now I got a long walk because he's running away from me. Never mind, he just needs some room to turn around. I guess we didn't plant headlands for a 6-row chopper pulling a wagon. Quarters full. They'll probably fill one wagon load because we got a lot of, well, he's got to work real fast to keep up. He's putting in 4 to 5 rows at a time down and back, and I guess our wagons are smaller because they have a roof and he can't get it to the back. The chopper has a spout that's made to fill wagons and could probably throw it 100 yards if it had to. wagon. And off to the races he goes. Having no top, that wagon will be pretty full, but I gotta get the wagon running. See if the TC still got enough. We had a small bit of rain since last time. There's no more dust. We gotta lift up the 3-point. That way we can transfer some weight onto the tractor. Pick a gear, 3 medium. That's a little too much juice. Hit the differential lock. And well, maybe slowly let out the, oh rats. Somebody extended the tongue. Okay, now, let's see what happens. Let's see, we got muscle, we got enough traction. Almost needed a bit more front weight. We kind of missed the front wheels coming off the ground, but that's because we're pulling so high in relation to the rear axle. So we're rolling, let's go unload. Everybody wave hi to Dad. Okay, we made it. Yes, with a very full front, we like to disengage the beaters, and hopefully this will go well enough that I don't have to do this or undo it by hand, even though I kinda feel like I should, because that's going to be a lot to work out just with the conveyor on the front. So I guess get ready and watch me sweat here a second. Well, the camera cut out by the time I got to the mechanical part of re-engaging the beaters and then feathering the clutch on the TC to slowly dump everything off the beaters as it fell down and worked its way across the front conveyor. But at least we saw me sweat and dig out the front. I only dug out about half of it. Well, I've done enough dumb things. Let's try not to break too much stuff too quick, because it does it on its own pretty well some days without being pushed to limits. Well, I'm heading out, and then there's Dad coming back in. Another wagon load. Well, here we go, chopping the late planted corn that is only fertilized with starter, and the fact that the chickens were in this area destroying off the weeds early in the summer. There's a lot of green in the stalks. I mean, it was planted late July. The corn didn't really pollinate at all, and the kernels are all juice still. And so we're out here. We'll get about our wagon load or so of silage. It's you know, he decided to keep going. It's really steep through here. I'm just hoping that high side of the wagon has got a bigger pile than the low side, because that wagon's in the steepest section right now. It's wanting to slide a little bit. The top side tires look a little light from here, I think. And there's a little bit of slime on top, so it's hard to tell, but the bottom ones are definitely digging in. Well, if it didn't tip yet, we should be good to make it to the very end of the row here. Now, decision, but this corn, while being chopped, smells slightly sour. We had about 8/10 of rain I guess 4 days ago now. We were so dry. The ground's pretty firm, just a little bit of slime on top in places. I don't know if there's enough width of the head to cut the little bit that's left down there. We haven't seen this side of the chopper yet. We've only mostly seen the latter side of the action. Right now we're hoping all the weight is on the other side of the wagon. I don't think we really understand the lean here until we get behind it. See, I'm holding the camera level. And even that doesn't necessarily show it off. As crazy as it looks here in real life, it's probably the fisheye lens on the GoPro. Okay, he's not quite getting it all in one pass. Well, here we come for the last few rows. That's got a wicked sound. If you can hear that, like, screeching. That's the blades on the head cutting the corn off. That's some wicked speed. See, now that's got some green to it. Mostly because I was planted so late, and then I was planted so late. Frost still got it, unfortunately. What do you think, Eva? We're getting done fast? We're moving. So we chopped 7 loads, and well, the neighbor, he had to go back and feed his cows real quick. He'll be back shortly, so we're having a nice breather, get caught up. We're pulling 3 wagons, our 2 Gales and his New Holland, and it's going fast. It's going really fast. While it's not running, we'll take a nice close look at the head, because I don't know if we're going to get much of a close look while it's running. This thing is a razor machine of death. Like, these blades are real fun. I'm spinning them backwards, but when the head is running, watch your fingers and toes, your leg, your dog, the neighbor's cat. They look like any sort of those, we'll say, full-on death machines from the sci-fi movies. Now, these drums don't turn as fast, but they definitely feed the corn in all right. The corn's standing up. These little roller guys are nice if it was down. I'm so glad we didn't have the winds and storm damage that Mac Farms had. That was a real struggle they had chopping silage. Our struggle is our chopper decided to die. So yeah, I'll do the explanations of, say, the machine here. It's a 6950 John Deere. It's got an 855 cubic inch Cummins in it, turning out 500 horsepower, and it makes great shade for the dog to lay in, because the sun is over there on this overcast day. It has a kernel processor. There's some silage here left in the front of the wagon, because that last little bit is just supremely annoying to deal with, because you're just waiting and waiting. We'll take a look at it here. That's one of the biggest parts of kernel I've seen. Most of them are thoroughly shredded, so that is delightful. Maybe that'll help our Holsteins get fatter faster, because the kernels are all obliterated to smithereens. Nothing happened. Nothing to see here. And I'll get a view of pulling wagons later. But it's been, say almost around the clock. Dad's unloading, I'm pulling in right behind him as he's leaving. I'm still pulling our Gales with the TC30. The 2910 is pulling that big New Holland wagon. I don't quite have enough tire to get that one moving. It's a tandem axle, and it's probably 3 feet longer. Ours, I guess you'd call them 14 footers. I'd say that New Holland's a solid 16. The roof does cause some challenges. We'll see that. So these wagons are definitely not full in the back, but it works. We're making progress. We're moving right on along. I don't have much experience with newer choppers, but it amazes me how like everything is fully in front of the tires that does all the chopping work. And everything spins supremely fast. Let's see, this is about a 2001. The head was made by Kemper, so that's a solid John Deere job of taking somebody else's work and putting their own sticker on it. We'll look at the tag. Now, if it's anything like the skid steers, they copied the design a few years after the deal with New Holland, you know, went out. So I don't know if Deere's making their own heads, if they're still going to Kemper. I mean, kudos to them for going to somebody who knows what they're doing. But, you know, pulling a China on idea stealing if they remanufacture it themselves. Take a look in at this side. That's factory. That pulls the kernel processor out of the way. You can tell it's factory because there's a lot of German writing on it. That did throw me for a loop. Like, I don't know, maybe expected hydraulic cylinders, not a chain hoist, but whatever works. I'm not the engineer. Right now I'm just the wagon hauler and the videographer. And Eva's the supervisor. So we've been all around this thing. We might as well get in the cab. I don't know if we get a cab view. We'll enjoy it. The quiet right now, because once this thing's running, it's loud and it'll be a pain to talk. And I hate talking over noise. There's a mirror, we can see ourselves. Kind of can see where the spout's going back there. There's two great mirrors on the side. I mean, you can see everything. It's got that going for it. All sorts of gauges on the post corner. Don't ask me about the controls, because I haven't driven this thing, but we'll just look at them, and you can figure them out yourself based on the various symbols on the switches. It's even got a cup holder. That's most convenient these days. Always need a refreshing beverage. I think that's climate controls. I guess those are least important. We're not worried about comfort. Gotta put those in the very back. Which it's a glorious day. It is November 2nd. And the weather's not half bad. It's probably 60 degrees or so. Well, let's kind of look around. We'll get one view out the front. We obviously got to get this in action. Lots of noisy action shots to come. I'm not going to try to see the machine in action from underneath, but since we're sitting here, we might as well have a look around just for entertainment. It's always fun to see the mechanics of things. And we can get under here at the moment. Four-wheel drive, that's convenient. I think the rear wheels might be doing a lot more pulling than the front wheels. The front wheels are ready to be tractor pulling tires. There's the oil pan, that's warm. For the things that fall on us. Now, there's a lot more room on this side because the other side has the step and stuff. I think they might have borrowed that transmission from a combine, which makes sense. Well, there's some more stuff. Looks like a hydraulic reservoir. It's pleasantly warm to the touch, not too hot. Into the abyss up above, lots of hoses, tons of hydraulics. Everything's hydraulic. If it's not electric, it's hydraulic. Or if it's not hydraulic, it's electric. And I imagine somewhere in here there's a giant belt. Which I guess we won't go lift an upper skirt to see what's underneath, but comes up and runs the cutter head. You can look in from the backside though. Oh, that's dark. More belts, yes. Okay, well that's the underside of this thing. Yeah, we made it to the top. Let's see what's inside. A pile of silage. And a plug blower pipe. Yeah, that's just lovely. Guess that won't rust out if its silage stays dry enough that lands up there. Now, but this silage has settled for a week now, and kind of see the top of the pile. That pile was made by just throwing the silage all the way across until the blower quit, or plugged. So that was just lovely. Ooh, that's wet. So this is there's one wagon load down there. We got the bottom unplugged. That fell out like a log. Unfortunately, we had to take the blower, like the pipe off the blower, because it sat long enough that it's got too solid and wouldn't fall out nicely because we didn't unplug it immediately. We just called it a day when it plugged, because I mean we had the pile built all the way across. You can see it settled 2+ doors, but we'll have room for the first forking. And like I said, we're down on numbers a little bit, so it won't be the worst. Ugh, stuff got nasty in there quick. I think I have it all cleaned out. Sounds like it. Maybe we'll keep this stick here. Hopefully don't plug this too often. We can always just stash the stick for good keeping. It's been up here a long time. I think we have it. Well, it's time for the climb down. I'm not coming back up here. We shouldn't have any more problems. We're going to put what's left of this load up here, most of it, and we'll enjoy the nice aerial view, see the pond, the Quonset hut, everything out in the front field, the chickens over yonder. But no, we can't see Russia from our house. Ah, yes, a good steamy pile of silage that's been sitting a few days. And we'll get most of this up in the silo, then we'll feed off the wagon for a few more, and then I guess I'll make a first forking video coming up soon about, well, how full the silo is, and about how warm I'll be this winter, thanks to all the silage forking I will be doing. Ah, that one unlucky piece of silage wedged on top of the spinner. See, the spinner is real good for pre-breaking up.